When a narcissist rises, they never rise alone. They build a small army, people who defend them, repeat their stories, and fight their battles. These people are called flying monkeys. At first they feel important, chosen, trusted, but what they don't realize is that the narcissist's loyalty only lasts as long as their usefulness. And when the game changes, those same allies become targets. The narcissist never forms real alliances, only transactions. Everyone around them is a tool, a mirror, or a shield. They flatter their flying monkeys, feeding them crumbs of admiration and fake closeness. "You're the only one I trust," they say. But it's never about trust. It's about control. And once that control slips, the narcissist's mask starts to crack, revealing what they truly think of their followers. Flying monkeys are often drawn in by manipulation disguised as friendship. The narcissist presents themselves as the victim, wronged, misunderstood, noble in their suffering. They make their followers feel like heroes defending justice. But behind closed doors, the narcissist sees them as pawns. When those pawns stop serving the purpose, they're discarded, blamed, or even destroyed. So why does the narcissist turn on their own flying monkeys? The answer is simple: power shifts. The narcissist's survival depends on control, and when a follower starts thinking for themselves, it feels like betrayal. The narcissist doesn't need loyalty, they need obedience. The moment a monkey hesitates, questions, or shows doubt, they become a threat, and narcissists destroy threats. At first, the betrayal looks subtle. The narcissist pulls away emotionally, stops praising, starts criticizing. They plant seeds of guilt and confusion. "You've changed," they say, or "you're not the same anymore." What they really mean is, "You're not as easy to control as before." The flying monkey, once proud to defend the narcissist, starts feeling the same fear and shame the narcissist used to project onto others. When one monkey falls, the rest notice. They whisper among themselves, wondering what happened. But fear keeps them quiet. The narcissist uses that silence as power, creating an atmosphere where no one dares question their behavior. It's emotional dictatorship. Everyone obeys until they're the next sacrifice. The same system they help protect eventually devours them. What's tragic is that many flying monkeys don't even realize they're being used. They truly believe they're doing the right thing. The narcissist feeds them stories about toxic people, betrayal, and disloyalty, making them feel morally superior. But when their purpose is served, they're suddenly accused of the same crimes they helped punish others for. That's how the narcissist maintains control through chaos. The narcissist's relationships are built on hierarchy. At the top sits their ego. Beneath it, their chosen disciples. Each monkey competes for favor, desperate to stay in the inner circle. But no one stays there long. The narcissist needs constant drama to feel alive, and turning followers against each other is the easiest way to feed that need. Divide, blame, destroy, repeat. It's their favorite cycle. The turning point often comes when one monkey begins to see inconsistencies. Maybe they catch the narcissist lying, or witness them treating others cruelly. When they question it, the narcissist's reaction is instant. Rage, projection, and smear campaigns. "How could you doubt me?" they say, twisting guilt back onto the one who dared to think. It's not just punishment, it's a warning to the rest. Once labeled a traitor, a former flying monkey becomes the new enemy. The narcissist rewrites history overnight. "I always knew they were fake," they'll say. The same person they once praised as loyal is now called crazy or jealous. They rally the remaining monkeys, demanding loyalty through fear. What the followers don't realize is that their turn is coming too. It always does. Narcissists turn on their flying monkeys for one main reason: exposure. Once someone starts to see their manipulation clearly, they lose value. The narcissist survives by hiding behind others, and any follower who begins to speak truth threatens that cover, so they discredit them first, before they can speak. It's preemptive destruction disguised as moral outrage. Ironically, the narcissist teaches their monkeys to betray others, then punishes them for doing the same. They'll say, "You can't trust anyone," even as they prove that point through their actions. The flying monkeys become mirrors reflecting the narcissist's worst traits: jealousy, dishonesty, manipulation. Eventually, the narcissist grows disgusted by their own reflection and lashes out it. When a flying monkey becomes too independent, the narcissist sees it as mutiny. Control isn't shared, it's absolute. Even small acts of self-respect, disagreeing, setting boundaries, showing compassion toward a scapegoat, are treated as rebellion, and narcissists don't forgive rebellion. They destroy it to remind everyone who's in charge. Behind every narcissist's downfall, there's often a moment when their flying monkeys turn away. They've seen too much, lied too long, and finally recognized the monster they served. That's when the narcissist panics. Without their audience, they lose their stage. Without their soldiers, their war ends. And that's why they turn so vicious, because they know the end is near. When narcissists sense their control fading, they go into damage control. They isolate the most loyal monkeys, feeding them exaggerated stories about betrayal. They rewrite every event to make themselves the victim again. "Everyone's against me," they cry, while secretly plotting revenge. They can't stand to lose their army, so they start cannibalizing it, one follower at a time. The pattern is always the same. First, idealization, then devaluation, finally, discard. The narcissist treats flying monkeys the same way they treat partners. Praise turns to punishment. Loyalty becomes liability, and when it's over, they act like those people never existed. Cold, detached, indifferent, as if the years of devotion meant nothing. Because to them, it never did. Flying monkeys are shocked when they realize they've become the new scapegoat. They believed loyalty would protect them. It never does. The narcissist's loyalty is only as strong as their ego's comfort. Once they feel threatened, they switch sides instantly. The very people they used to warn others about are suddenly useful again, and the cycle continues endlessly, till no one trusts anyone. What the narcissist doesn't expect is how fast karma moves once their followers wake up. One by one, people start leaving, the gossip stops spreading, the lies lose their audience, and suddenly the narcissist is alone with the one thing they fear most: accountability. They created enemies where they once had allies, and now they're surrounded by silence, the sound of their empire collapsing. The emotional irony is poetic. The same tactics they used to control others now control them. Paranoia becomes their daily companion. They start suspecting everyone, even the ones still loyal. Are they turning on me? They wonder. They project their own betrayal onto others, poisoning what little trust remains. That's how the narcissist destroys themselves, through the same fear they created. Flying monkeys who escape the narcissist often go through deep confusion. They can't understand how someone they admired could suddenly become cruel. But what they don't realize yet is that they were never loved. They were used. The narcissist doesn't see people, they see extensions, and once an extension stops functioning, it's replaced or attacked. The narcissist's world runs on imbalance. Someone must always be above, someone below. When a flying monkey begins to level that balance, showing empathy to others, seeing truth, they disrupt the system. The narcissist's instinct is immediate. Restore power by humiliation. That's when they start publicly mocking or demeaning their once trusted ally. It's punishment wrapped in performance. This betrayal confuses everyone watching. The narcissist acts like the victim, hurt, disappointed, betrayed, but it's all theater. Their sadness is a script written to manipulate sympathy. They know exactly what they're doing. Turning a follower into a villain gives them renewed control over the narrative. It keeps the audience focused on someone else's sins instead of their own. Flying monkeys eventually see the pattern, how every relationship in the narcissist's life ends the same way. Once loved becomes once hated. Devotion turns to destruction. It's only a matter of time before their name joins the list of traitors. That realization stings, but it's also the beginning of freedom. Betrayal from a narcissist is the first step toward awakening. The narcissist's downfall is self-inflicted. When they run out of targets, they turn inward. Their paranoia eats them alive. They start accusing everyone, even themselves, of deceit. They rewrite reality so often that they can no longer tell what's true. That's the punishment no one sees coming. A life where even their own lies stop believing them. You'll know the narcissist's reign is ending when their own monkeys start defending the people they once attacked. The truth spreads quietly, then loudly. The narcissist's stories stop adding up. The more they talk, the more contradictions appear. Eventually, even their most loyal followers can't deny what's in front of them, and the kingdom of manipulation crumbles from within. Once the narcissist realizes their grip is slipping, they try one last tactic: fear. They begin spreading subtle threats, emotional guilt, and veiled warnings. "You'll regret leaving me," they whisper. But fear loses its power when truth awakens. The flying monkeys, who finally see the manipulation, no longer tremble. They simply walk away. That calm defiance terrifies the narcissist more than any confrontation ever could. In desperation, the narcissist plays both sides. They reach out to old enemies, pretending to make peace, while secretly blaming the remaining monkeys for everything. They shift blame so fast that no one knows who to believe anymore. It's chaos by design, the environment they thrive in. But this time, the drama doesn't fuel them. It exposes them. Their lies start clashing in public, and everyone begins to see the pattern. When cornered, narcissists weaponize pity. They cry, act fragile, and claim everyone betrayed them. It's a final attempt to recruit new sympathizers. Some fall for it again, but fewer each time. The old tricks don't work like before. People have seen too many contradictions, too many half-truths. The narcissist's performance starts to feel predictable. And predictability kills manipulation. As more flying monkeys defect, the narcissist grows paranoid. They begin rewriting their own history, deleting messages, erasing evidence, trying to rebrand themselves. But you can't clean a conscience that never existed. The truth has already spread. What used to be their power, storytelling, becomes their undoing. Because every story contradicts another, and eventually all illusions collapse. The remaining monkeys, still loyal, feel the tension. They walk on eggshells, trying not to be the next target. They've seen what happens to those who question authority. So they smile, nod, and pretend to believe. But behind their eyes, fear has replaced admiration. The narcissist's inner circle becomes a prison, everyone pretending to love the very person they secretly dread. The narcissist's turn on their monkeys is not random, it's ritual. It's how they renew their sense of power. Each betrayal is a sacrifice to their ego, proof that they're still in control. But power built on destruction always eats itself. Over time, they run out of victims. The cycle that once made them feel alive now isolates them completely. The hunter becomes the haunted. They'll blame everyone but themselves. "I'm surrounded by traitors," they'll say. They call loyalty fake, friendship temporary, love conditional. In their eyes, the world becomes a reflection of their own deceit. But what they're truly seeing is karma, the mirror of their manipulation finally facing back. The flying monkeys were never the problem. Their master was. Meanwhile, the former monkeys begin to heal. They talk, share stories, compare experiences. What once felt like isolated pain turns into collective awakening. They realize they were never alone, they were controlled. That realization is powerful. It transforms guilt into clarity, confusion into closure, and with each truth spoken, the narcissist's shadow grows smaller. Nothing terrifies the narcissist more than exposure. They built their empire on secrecy and illusion, and now both are gone. Every lie they told becomes a thread leading back to them. The same people they once called allies now share screenshots, messages, and memories. The narcissist watches their reputation burn and blames everyone else for striking the match. For the first time, the narcissist is forced to experience what they made others feel: rejection. Their calls go unanswered, their charm ignored, their manipulation met with silence. The people who once defended them now avoid them. And in that silence, the narcissist encounters something they've never known before: consequences. They'll try to rebuild, to gather new followers. But this time, it doesn't work. Their energy feels different, desperate, hollow. Even new acquaintances sense something off. The charisma that once drew people in now repels them. The narcissist hasn't changed, but the world around them has. People have become wiser, and the illusion has lost its sparkle. Inside, they begin to rot. The constant lies turn inward. They can't distinguish manipulation from memory anymore. They rewrite the past so often that they start believing their own distortions. But belief doesn't erase guilt. Late at night, when the performance ends, they feel the weight of everything they built and destroyed. That emptiness is their punishment. The ex-flying monkeys, meanwhile, evolve. Many of them start speaking out, warning others about manipulation, control, and emotional abuse. They turn pain into purpose. Ironically, the narcissists created their own downfall by teaching people how to recognize deceit. Every survivor's voice becomes a light that exposes another mask. Without followers, the narcissist's life becomes painfully quiet. They were addicted to noise, attention, arguments, chaos. Now silence surrounds them like a mirror. With no one left to blame, they face themselves for the first time. It's not enlightenment, it's agony. Because self-awareness for a narcissist isn't healing. It's exposure to the one truth they've always feared. When the mask finally slips, even they can't pretend anymore. The charm, the arrogance, the control, all dissolve under the weight of isolation. They start replaying memories, trying to find where it all went wrong. But the truth is simple: it went wrong when they replaced love with control, truth with performance, and people with pawns. Some narcissists try to apologize at this stage, not out of guilt, but survival. They sense the walls closing in, so they throw words like "sorry" and "I've changed" as lifelines. But it's not repentance, it's manipulation reborn. Their apologies are performances designed to lure back old supply. The wise ones see through it. The healed ones don't return. When no one believes their apologies anymore, desperation sets in. They shift from fake remorse to bitterness. "Everyone betrayed me," they mutter, rewriting their downfall as victimhood. It's always someone else's fault. This mental loop protects their ego, but imprisons their soul. They'll repeat it endlessly. A self-made purgatory that feels like eternity. By now, the former flying monkeys have found peace. They've stopped obsessing over the narcissist's chaos and started rebuilding their own identity. For the first time in years, they laugh without guilt, sleep without fear, and love without calculation. The freedom they once thought impossible has become their reality. And that peace is the narcissist's greatest loss. The narcissist watches from afar, both jealous and confused. How could the people they once controlled be happier without them? They can't comprehend it, because in their world, love equals power. The concept of genuine connection one not built on fear, is foreign to them. They mistake peace for indifference and mistake healing for betrayal. As time passes, their name becomes a whisper of warning, not admiration. People remember the manipulation, the drama, the cruelty. The narcissist's legacy becomes their own cautionary tale. They wanted followers, they created awareness, they wanted loyalty, they taught boundaries. That's the poetic justice life delivers. Not through revenge, but reflection. Eventually, the narcissist isolates completely. The flying monkeys who remain are few, and even they are tired. The constant lies and shifting blame have drained everyone. The narcissists sit surrounded by ghosts, people they used, stories they twisted, bridges they burned, and in that solitude, the truth echoes, every betrayal was self-inflicted. The turning on the flying monkeys was inevitable. It wasn't madness. It was the natural consequence of a life built on hierarchy and fear. The narcissist destroys what they can't control. And when they run out of others to destroy, they turn on themselves. The cycle always ends in self-consumption. Ego eating ego, mask devouring mask. If you've ever been one of their flying monkeys, remember this: awakening is not shameful, it's sacred. You were manipulated because you had empathy, loyalty, and belief. Those are strengths, not flaws. The moment you stop serving a narcissist's illusion, you reclaim your power. And that power doesn't need revenge, it just needs truth. The real reason the narcissist turns on their flying monkeys isn't betrayal, it's exposure. The moment you stop believing their lies, you become a mirror reflecting truth. And truth burns like sunlight to their ego. They can't stand to see it, so they attack it. But mirrors don't break easily anymore. Not when they've learned the cost of being fooled. In the end, the narcissist stands alone, surrounded by silence, haunted by the echoes of voices they once commanded. The empire of manipulation collapses, not by force, but by awareness. And that's the greatest irony of all. The narcissist destroyed their own army, trying to protect their ego. Meanwhile, those who escaped built something stronger, lives rooted in truth, peace, and freedom.